104.5 The Team, your home for New York sports. And now with a little race coming up this Saturday over at the Saratoga Racecourse, we have our friend from Nyras, Andy Serling, join us. Andy, the biggest question on everyone's mind, is it Wonder Godot or Wonder Godot?
Yeah, I think it's something else, actually. We did the draw last night, and I think that there was some discussion of what the actual pronunciation was, and it sounds like it has some sort of heavy accent, so I'm just calling it the filly in the race. I feel like that's she's. But Mark Cassie said that he just calls her Wonder Woman.
That's not bad.
All right, that's very good then. I'm going to follow your lead and call her the filly in the race as well. You talked about the drawing yesterday. Who is the favorite, and should they be listed as the favorite for the Saturday race?
Yeah, the favorite is Good Magic, and he absolutely should be listed as the favorite. I mean, his second in the Kentucky Derby to Justify was arguably as good a race, in the context of the race as any horse ran against Justify in Triple Crown. He backed it up with a very easy win last time in the Haskell at Monmouth, which arguably is the single biggest prep for this race. And, yeah, he's very talented. I mean, people are always banding about the mile and a quarter question. Well, his second in the Derby, he would have won the Derby if Justify was in there. Did he handle a mile and a quarter? Did he handle it faster than the others? Did he do it while running very well? Yeah, all of that is true. So I think he is the legitimate favorite here. Doesn't mean he's going to win, but he is supposed to be favored.
Is this going to be almost like a Kentucky Derby style of handicapping? What I mean by that is like horses like Gronkowski and Wonder Godot the filly, and Good Magic. They have all these connections and names that almost people may place wagers on these horses because of the names, and their numbers might be off a little bit than what they should be.
I think that's actually an interesting question. I do think that when you get to big races like the Travers, and the Triple Crown, yeah, there is a certain amount of people betting based on sort of a reputation that may or may not be the case, right? And so I think it's a very fair question. I think it's a true one. Yeah, I think you can find sort of value theoretically in these races. It's not that I like them, but nobody had heard of Arrogate before the Travers, right? And they certainly heard of him afterwards. So, yeah, these are races where they're probably a little bit more misbet than other races.
Andy Serling with us, as you can hear him right here on 104.5 The Team at the Post Live. He's the host of that as well. So we always go to him before the big races, the Travers, the biggest one of the summer. And as I look at it, I realize something that I probably should have already known, Andy. I have no idea what I'm doing. Will you help me?
I'm just really glad I could be here for this moment where you finally admit that you have no idea what you're doing. This
publicly, I say it to myself all the time.
Really, all your listeners. So that's really great. What would I do? Well, unfortunately, we haven't drawn the other races yet, so I can't discuss the other races. But as far as the Travers, I mean, I don't have a pick right now. We haven't like put out the official TPs and stuff, and I want to look at it. I'm pretty open here. I do think the Good Magic horse to beat. I think Gronkowski, is training very well. Chad Brown's been very high on him for a while. I think he is very dangerous. I'm not thrilled with Wonder Godot in here. I think that she's a horse that will probably take a little too much money. Like you said, sort of based on reputation, the filly against the boys, the whole sort of scenario, to me, leads her to be an underlay because at the end of the day, she's a very nice horse, and she certainly could win here. But she really hasn't run well enough on the racetrack to be a short price in this race. And I think she's going to be a pretty short price in here, a lot of it based on name recognition. So for that reason, I'd probably lean against her. You've got players like Catholic Cowboy, who's gotten terrific on the turf. He was good in the dirt last year. He won the Remsen. He sort of fell apart a little on the Triple Crown Trail, but I'm not going to discount the possibility that he actually can run in the dirt. And one thing we know about Catholic Cowboy, the distance will be no problem. So I think it's a race to keep an open mind. I do think, though, that there's nothing wrong with Chad Brown's horses, Good Magic and Gronkowski.
See, that's Andy. My sophomoric humor wants it to be Wonder Godot and Gronkowski all the way to the end, and Colmus's call to be something about Gronkowski always chasing the fillies, something of that nature.
I'm sure that hasn't occurred to Larry. I'm sure that'll never occur to him. That is a good one. I like that, actually. That'll be pretty good, right?
The other big story, it's very good. And the other big storyline this weekend is the weather. It seems like every weekend, Levack and I are up there. It's raining when we were talking to you right now. Is the weather supposed to be okay? What do we look like? Sunshine in the forecast?
Actually supposed to be sensational.
Yes.
I mean, I know we had a little rain last night, but that's gone. The sky's already turning blue as I look out my window. I'm getting ready to head over the track. So the rain is gone, and the forecast for the rest of the meet has a couple of mild, like 30% chance of thunderstorms, but we're definitely out of the bad weather pattern. So that's good, and I think there's a good chance that going forward we'll be good to go. Like on Travers Day, it's supposed to be absolutely sensational, a high of like 80 to low 80s and just perfect weather. So that's good for us. We deserve a little break, and it's good that it's happening Travers Day. We don't want all the people coming to be disappointed and be caught in the rain.
Absolutely. Andy Serling with us. So, speaking of people going to Travers, any word? Are the tickets still available? I know we capped this one.
Well, there's no seats available, but there's general admission. And in fact, I believe you can still buy your general admission for $10. So if you buy in advance, you can go to Nyra.com. You can also buy it at the track if you're there and get it in advance, and you'll save $5. It's $15 a day, and you don't want to risk the chance of it possibly selling out. I wouldn't. I think people will be able to get in, but you can also save $5, and why not do that?
Right.
We've got so much great stuff going on Saturday. Besides the Travers, we've got a host of Grade 1 races. We're going to have $1 million guarantee in our Nyra Bets Late Pick 5, which will obviously probably conclude with the Travers. We'll certainly include the Travers. I don't know exactly what the order of the race is. I think the Travers is race 11. You want to sign up for Nyra Bets. You want to be able to play that Pick 5, and obviously sign up for Nyra Bets. You're supporting racing. Your money is all going back into racing as opposed to other ADWs, which money may go to private hands. Racing is a business that needs the money to constantly be reinvested. So I can't urge people enough to get involved in Nyra Bets. And it's just a great day of racing. It's going to be 13 races. I think the first post is, I want to say it's about 11:30, and the last race will be about 7. So it's a virtual smorgasbord of activity and fun races and great stuff.
Before we get to Saturday and the Travers, Thursday night right here on 104.5 The Team. It's a live edition, 8 o'clock at the Post live from the Parting Glass Pub. What can we expect from Thursday's show?
It's actually a really great Travers preview show. I'm really excited by the guests we've had this year. A lot of people we haven't had in the show before and some interesting stuff. We do have some repeats this year because Irad Ortiz, who's the leading rider now at Saratoga, looks like he's probably going to win the title. I mean, you never know what can happen in the last couple of weeks. Mark Cassie, the trainer of Wonder Woman, whatever her name is, he'll be there and he can try to explain how you pronounce the name. And of course, Ira Ortiz also picked up the mount on her as well. And then Bob Edwards, who owns Good Magic, and he's a very popular guy. He's a terrific guy, and I've got to be friends with him. And his E5 racing, he has a horse Rushing Fall that won the Lake Placid here the other day. He's won 2 straight actual Breeders' Cup juvenile filly turf races. And, of course, he won the juvenile last year with Good Magic. So he's going to be on it. He's a very interesting and smart guy and a fun guy, actually. So and it's going to be a terrific show. I'm looking forward to it. And big Travers preview on Thursday night.
Love it. At the Post Live right here on 104.5 The Team, Thursday night, 8 o'clock. The Run Happy Travers preview that everyone needs. And Andy, best of luck with the show tomorrow night. Break a leg, as always. You always do a great job, and we look forward to harassing you at some point before the Travers.
I hope so. I look forward. Maybe I'll see you somewhere. That would be really nice.
We'll be there Friday at the Stretch. It's a good time.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, if I can get down there, it depends what time our show is and what's going on, but I'd love to come down and say hi, and I appreciate all the support from you guys, and love being involved with you guys for the Thursday night show.
Oh, man, all these nice things. We better get out of this now before we start going after each other.
All right.